Boy, that song went by quick this time. I think I must have started it a little bit early. How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Man, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. You know what? I didn't think there was going to be a stream today either, C# Worm, but they made me work so much yesterday that so far today they haven't called me in. I got home at like 2:30 in the morning last night. Quite the story. Someday we'll sit around and up at the wHobbit-House and we'll have a party and we'll just tell stories. I am a couple minutes early, huh? Bonus, Mr. Tech Gadget. That's right. And I got to say hello to Alexander, who just barely beat out Nicolau, which is hard to do because he's usually pretty fast. Oh, man. How's it going, everybody? Whoo-wee. We got some fun stuff to talk about today. Since I wasn't planning on streaming. I had to think for a few minutes about, well, what is it we want to talk about? But that's usually not hard for me to come up with something because, oops, I'm sorry, I hit the microphone. Because I really just talk about whatever it is I've been thinking about or doing, and you guys seem to be interested, so works out well for everybody, right? Oh, man. Tell me about what you guys are doing first. We'll give everybody a couple minutes to get here. Keep on doing some roll call. But tell me what you guys are working on. Has summer arrived where you are? Because it sure has arrived where we are. Air conditioning should be coming on pretty soon. Let's check out my Node-RED flow and see what's happening with my okay, so it's 28 degrees, so it should have turned on the air conditioning. Turned on the fan this morning, turned on the AC. Okay, so it did turn on the air conditioning, but the air conditioning hasn't probably come on because the temperatures are okay. But this flow works. Do you guys know how this flow works? Have I ever told you about some of this? Node-RED crapo. Blade will be here in a minute. Automating firefighter calls to all the lighting. Oh, wow. This thing checks my outside temperature. Then it runs through this node that splits it up. If the temperature is, this is all Celsius because hobbits believe in Celsius. If it's above 26, then it goes this way. If it's between 23 and 15, it goes here. If it's less than 12, it goes down there. And if it's less than 4, it goes all the way down there. So right now we're falling into this category. It's 28. So we're above 26. So it goes up this way. First thing it checks to see is the air conditioning already off? If the air conditioning is on, then that would be this. If it's off, false, that would be this. Nothing happens. If it's already on, it just stops. If it is actually off, then it goes this way and it turns them on. What this turns on, it doesn't actually turn on the air conditioning. What this turns on is the climate. Well, this one turns off the fan. That turns off the house fan so that the house fan doesn't keep running. The house fan is the thing that just sucks in air from outside. It's this big monstrous fan up in the attic that just sucks air through whatever windows are open and blows it out the attic. So it does a really good job of keeping the house cool when the temperature's not too hot outside. If the temperature gets too hot outside, then this will just heat the house. It'll cool it off some, but not as much as the air conditioning. This just turns on the climate entities in Home Assistant. So if we go to the climate entities in Home Assistant, we will see that they are turned on, but it's not quite warm enough in the house for them to be kicked on yet. So we have a main floor air conditioner and we have an upstairs air conditioner, and they're both, it looks like, set at, wait, why are they not working? That's weird. It looks like it should be on. Temperature's set at 24.7, but it looks like it's 25.3. Why would it not be on? Interesting. Should be on. I don't hear it up there. Turn it off, turn it on. Interesting. I can see why downstairs it's not on because it's 23.5 down there. I wonder why this isn't on. Came on the other day. Interesting. We'll have to see what happens over the next little bit. Maybe it doesn't check it every often. Anyways, yes, put / here in Discord so you get some points for stuff. What temp in your neck of the woods in the 90s in Arizona? Well, it's 28 degrees outside actually, that's the feels like temperature. That's the feels like temperature. So it may be a little bit cooler, but let's see. Oh, I think we have, if Sir Goodenough's here, which he might not be, they do have, we do have a weather thing in the bot. 71 degrees, but it's, so 71, oh, that's not that much, right? But there's no clouds and the sun is just baking us. Pow! I got sunburned the other day. It is baking us. We went straight from snow earlier this week to stinking melting today. So Node-RED is a way of making if-then statements to control the smart things in the house. It is, Corey, but there's also now a very intuitive if-then process for automations in Home Assistant. So check that out too. It was just in the very latest version of 22.5 of Home Assistant. But Node-RED is just a nice way. I think to me, it seems like the most important part of Node-RED, or the most useful part of Node-RED, the visual thing is nice, and it's nice that it kind of gives you this quick status. You can check what's been going on and when. So it's visual. That is helpful. But it also is very repeatable. Like if I want to, I can trigger some whole other thing off of this without recreating these parts, right? So it's very reusable. Sections of it are very easily reusable. Here's a good example of that. So I have this announcement thing, and this just sends the text of whatever comes through here to all these different announcement devices. Did someone say Node-RED? Thank you, Yuna. So all of our Google Homes, all of our Amazon Echoes, it sends an announcement. So all I have to do if I want it to send an announcement is create the announcement, create the trigger, and then create the announcement. So here's the trigger. So here's the trigger. This is a fun one. This is monitoring my phone. When my phone goes from work to not home, it means I've left work and usually I'm driving home. If I leave work and I'm going someplace else, then this will give a false alarm and it'll tell them I'm coming home when I'm not coming home. But if I leave work and then go into the not home zone, which is on the way home, then it will trigger. Okay, great. It triggers. Now it moves on to here. In here, I just write the message that I want it to say. And I just say, Daddy just left work. He should be home in 30 minutes. Get ready for hugs. And then this sends it to there. So when I want a new message, I just create the trigger, create the message, and then connect it to this. I don't have to recreate all this stuff. It just plugs it right into here, and it just is already all done. Que pasa, Fat Daddy? How you doing, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while. Ooh, update Home Assistant notes. I don't know what that means. Hopefully it won't break anything. All right. So what were we talking about already? I haven't lost track. It's a squirrely kind of day, isn't it?
Huh?
31 in Ontario. Oh, Ontario, California. Hot, baby. Hot. Been swimming all weekend, Raspy says. You in Arizona, you said, right? 73 in Pennsylvania. See, it's even hotter in Pennsylvania. Someone needs to set stream mode for here true to work. I don't have permission. Oh, no. Jordan Reese, how you doing, buddy? Haven't seen you and your beard in forever. How's your beard? Love seeing people get use out of those node statuses. Isn't it fun? I like it. It does well. It was taken care of. Okay, thank you, Joel. See, I didn't think I'd recognize you as Joel, but I recognize you. Pretty cool, hey? Pretty cool. 22C for the Dutchies. It's hot everywhere, huh? 22 is probably pretty nice, but I would think 71 is pretty nice, but it's really not that nice. So, all right, we've given everybody a few minutes to get here. It's probably going to be a little bit of a light attendance. 90 degrees in Texas. Joseph, get underground, man. Get underground. We all need to be living underground. Just finishing up converting my old Z-Wave integration to the newer Z-Wave JS integration. Took about 4 hours yesterday. I'm working about 3 hours today so far. Almost done. Man, Ben, that is something. I was just talking to a surgeon friend of mine who also is a Home Assistant user and a Z-Wave guy, and he was looking into, did he say he started the process or that he went ahead and did it? I can't remember where he was at, but we were discussing the Z-Wave JS. I don't really have Z-Wave devices, so I've never tried Z-Wave JS yet, but Just stopping in for a bit before church. Well, good to see you, Jordan. Thanks for being here. Just started. Baron TV just started with Home Assistant. We'll celebrate for you. Just cuz. Why not? Looks like I picked a good time to start with the latest update. You sure did, Baron. You sure did. I mean, yeah, you sure did. It's a Home Assistant is in a great place right now. I broke my heel. Oh, ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Sorry to hear that, dude. All right, here we go. So what was I going to do? Oh, I thought we'd have some fun. Let's have some fun. Let's go through this Westinghouse all-electric house video. Do you guys remember this? This all-electric house video is from sometime in the 50s. I haven't been able to find out exactly when it was made, but sometime in the 50s. And they go through, it's kind of fun to watch, especially for us smart home nerds. It's pretty fun to watch. They go through what they said at the time was available or was, what they were working on or whatever, and what they expected from a house that would run all on electricity. Now, it's interesting to me that their focus was this house runs all on electricity. Like that was, I don't want to say it was new because in the 50s, electricity wasn't really new anymore. But I think the idea of having a house that was like heated with electricity, or having like an electric stove, electric fireplace, barbecue, some of those kinds of things was sort of new. But it's really fun for us now. For me, it has been fun to watch this video and to see what they got right, to see what they predicted sort of and what we actually have, but also to see two other things. One, to see what we can do to make those things happen, maybe that haven't quite happened yet, right? How can we actually replicate it or demonstrate that that's a real thing that we have now? And then the other thing I thought about earlier today was, let's think about what a home is going to consist of in 70 years. This was made about 70 years ago. Can you imagine? I want to spend a little bit of time talking about this and thinking about what in the world is a house going to be able to do in 70 years. That's crazy, right? NYX, how's it going, buddy? All right, so we're going to watch this, and I think I piped the audio through, so you guys should be able to hear it with me, and then we'll pause it every once in a while, and we'll talk about it, okay? This is going to be kind of fun. I don't know if I'll get copyright busted for this or not, but that's okay. It's not.
Hello, I'm Betty Furness.
Hi, Betty.
In all my years with Westinghouse, I've covered some pretty interesting stories.
Can you hear it?
But here is truly the most wonderful and exciting thing I've ever had the chance to talk about. It's the Westinghouse Total Electric Home. A home where electricity does everything. Heats, cools, illuminates, launders, preserves and prepares foods, entertains. It even lights a path to the front door with rayescent strip lighting.
Okay, there's the first one.
As visitors
Rayescent strip lighting.
More lights go on automatically to say a cheery welcome.
So the lights come on as you walk up to the house.
When they arrive at the door, a television camera takes their picture to tell the hostess her guests have arrived.
Video doorbell.
When you step inside the Total Electric Home, you step into an entirely new concept in living, organized around electric centers, such as this entertainment center. Electric heating and cooling keep the home constantly and automatically at
we'll
the
get
most
into more of this
livable
electric heating and
temperatures all
cooling
year
too.
round.
There's a couple of really
And
interesting
clean
things.
and healthful too. Sterile lamps kill airborne bacteria, while electrostatic filters remove pollen and dust.
Okay, did you guys hear that? So they're talking about, talking about like ultraviolet light or something, right? She's talking about lights that kill bacteria and then filters, extra filters, right? A home that creates more power than it's using. That is potentially, that's a good point. That's probably something that'll be there in 70 years.
The joy of the man of the house is the Weather Control Center.
Weather Control
Center
Center.
that puts you in charge of the electric heating and air conditioning and the electronic air filtering of the entire house. If you like
Not a big deal here, right? This is just a hub for heating and cooling and the filters.
The temperature of each room in the total electric home can be set individually.
Okay, so that's something that we're getting there, but each, and for us in our house, because we have radiant heat in the floors, we kind of have temperature setting for each room, but not every house has that yet. I mean, we're still kind of, I mean, I think a lot of houses probably have a couple thermostats, but not one for every room where you can change it.
And for the
first ever home assistant. That's right, it's the home assistant dashboard.
Reports outside wind velocity and direction.
Then you got a weather station,
and humidity,
which I don't have. I need a good weather station. Oh, you know what? Oh, but we won't.
De-ices the front walk and driveway.
Okay, de-icing of the front walk.
An automatic control starts the lawn sprinklers when the ground gets thirsty.
Okay, hold on. We got to talk about all those things. Did you hear all that? So, okay, we started talking about the weather station, right? So the weather station, so that you can get wind speed and barometric pressure as well as temperature. They didn't mention precipitation, but I think that would be an important one as well. There was, when I was watching this not that long ago, I was asking in the Home Assistant forums about a weather station. And the one that got recommended was, was it this Accurite? I think it was this, I think it was that Accurite. Yeah. Oh, no, Ambient. Was it Ambient? Oh, crap. I thought it was the Accurite. But there was a pretty good integration for home. No, it's this one, this Tempest one, this crazy looking one. It was that much money. Yeah, this was it. So this one, several people recommended this one, and there's a pretty good integration apparently with Home Assistant. So this is something I'm going to have to put on my Christmas list that I want to get, that will have those kinds of things: pressure, solar power, temperature, humidity, wind sensor, rain sensor, lightning sensor. And it's kind of compact. It doesn't look too crazy. I think you could probably mount that pretty simply in different places. So anyways, that's a good one. And it has a good Home Assistant integration from what they told me. Now, back to this for a second. So there's the weather station. Then the other thing he talked about was, or she talked about, was de-icing the front driveway and the walk. So let's talk about that for a second. Anybody have anything like that? I at our house here, what we have is kind of the radiant heat system that pumps the hot water through the house. They actually did run pipes under the driveway, but they had a whole second boiler set up to run that, and it's never been turned on. It may not even be connected, right? It may not even work. And I don't know for sure about this, but when we were having a plumber come and kind of sort out some issues here, he looked at that system and said it would probably cost us $30 to $50 every time we wanted to thaw the driveway. I don't know if that's accurate. I don't know how he was coming up with that. I don't know if he was thinking about how much natural gas we're going to use or what. But anyways, I wonder about doing that. So Marshmallow Man, your in-laws have this kind of an ice melt, huh? Tell us a little about it. Does it do it with electricity, or does it do it with like hot water? So ours would be doing it with natural gas, boiler, and hot water running through the pipes under the driveway. I wonder about doing it with electricity. That kind of resistive load would take a lot of electricity for sure, right? If it gets too cold, it actually causes more of a problem. If it can't keep up, it turns the driveway into a sheet of ice. Need heated driveways here in Arizona. We cook eggs on the... It's a boiler with hot water. Okay, that's what ours is. But even then, it still just causes some problems, huh? So that's interesting. I wonder if there's not other ways to do it. It's just something to think about. Electric heating on the driveway to underground parking. Oh, nice. Where are you, Lucas? So this is like your apartment building or something? To underground parking? Electric heating on the driveway. I would love to see what that would look like. I just would be very curious. When I worked at a college for people with disabilities, the paths had hollow underneath to stop it from icing. It's all about airflow. So you can just do it with air. Just basically, you just better insulate it, or did they blow hot air through there? Oh, that's interesting, Mark. Very interesting. We could easily, I mean, I have the pipes. We could put hot air through ours if that's easier. It doesn't even have to be hot air. Maybe if it's just warm air, just something to wick the water away. This may be a thing where you could do something with a geothermal pump as well. You could do a heat pump kind of a situation where you basically are sucking the cold away, warming it up and bringing it back through. That's probably an efficient way to do it. Consecrate some sun rays. I like it. I like it. Concentrate some sun rays. Nice. Apartments in Poland. Okay. Crazy low tech here. Incredibly expensive, kids. Yeah, I bet. Oh, your kids shovel. Yeah. Just empty underneath. It never froze. No kidding. That's amazing, Mark. I love that idea. Heated streets in Seattle to keep the hills from being a problem. No kidding. How did they heat them? Same thing, boiled water, like hot water going through there. Wow, interesting. Okay, so there's that. So that's really cool. So that's something that I think we could put on the list of we don't really have. It's available, it's possible, but maybe we haven't really nailed it. The next thing that they just talked about too was sprinklers. You guys have, anybody else have, not me, because I hardly even water our lawn. I'm trying to get rid of our lawn, but does anybody else have a sensor-based sprinkler system? So this wasn't just a timer. This wasn't just saying, oh, it's 10 o'clock at night, turn the sprinklers on for 2 hours. This was sensor in the ground that says when the soil hits X level of dryness or moisture, lack of moisture, then kick on the sprinklers. Anybody else have that? I'm sure it exists. I'm sure you can do it, but that's something that I haven't done or seen done. I'm sure it has been, but anyways, the blocks would make a massive difference as the ice needs water to freeze. If the blocks can't hold water, they never freeze. Soil moisture sensor to start the drip system. There you go. Raspy's all over it. Where's Stubbs when you need him, right? Mr. Sprinkler Man. Okay, let's keep this thing going.
Another beautiful and practical electrical center in the total electric home is the Laundry and Home Planning Center.
They try to trick you here.
With individual hampers, your clothes are sorted by type.
Individual hampers, but nobody sorts them mechanically. That's people's job still.
The very last word in home laundries. All you do is load the clothes in this new Westinghouse 1000 laundromat and electric clothes dryer. The remarkable program computer selects and carries out the perfect washing and drying program for every fabric at the touch of a button.
So I think that is pretty much normal now, right? You have your dials and your controls on your washing machines, and you just tell it what kind of clothes you're putting in there. If you're putting delicates or you're putting wool or you're putting, I don't know, whatever. So that's not actually, it doesn't detect what kind of clothes and do it automatically, but it gives you the options to push a button and say, oh, these are delicate clothes, wash them delicately.
It's the first home laundry that can think. Over
to be effective, you need several sensors. Probably, Mark,
right? And electric barbecue. By touching an electric starter, the host can get the charcoal going.
Okay, electric starter on the barbecue. In the house, though.
And whenever the family just wants to enjoy a cozy fire, all
this is a little crazy right here.
Is throw on the logs and push a button to automatically lower a protective screen.
They put a fire in their house.
Cooking is really a joy in the food preparation center.
Food preparation
center. You have
a
refrigerator that looks like fine furniture.
Okay.
For convenience,
refrigerator that looks like furniture, fine.
Opens from both sides.
This is really weird how it is kind of built in though. Like
refrigerator and
freezer doors. Listen to this. This is.
There's the miraculous electronic oven that will cook these appetizers in 6 seconds.
Okay. Beep. Hold on. Timesies. Okay, this was before microwaves, right? But this was an electric oven that they said would cook those appetizers in 6 seconds. I don't know about that. I don't think there's an oven that can cook anything in 6 seconds. Maybe, but not in your house. It's not a kiln, for goodness sake. Yeah, nuclear powered, maybe. but I guess there's room to improve still. 6 seconds. Anyways, I just thought that was funny. She takes these things out of the freezer, these hors d'oeuvres or whatever, out of the freezers, appetizers, puts them in this electric oven, and in 6 seconds they're supposed to be cooked. I don't know.
That were prepared from recipes kept in this microfilm file.
Aleka!
Thousands of recipes are on file here.
Thousands of recipes. Amazon Echo Show. With the internet. Done.
On the
Check.
screen.
See, look, there you go. Meatballs are done. Maybe they figured, maybe at this point they thought they kind of knew microwaves were coming, and they thought, oh man, it's going to be like that. We're going to put it in 6 seconds, done, right? A time dilation oven.
The entertainment center of the total electric home is a whole
All right, here's some
world
fun.
of built-in pleasure. Never before has so much fun been organized in one convenient and compact area. Fun that the entire family can enjoy
Air
together.
fryer? Could be.
For the young
I need
and
the power
heart,
now.
a button selects the latest hit record and plays it automatically.
Okay, so again, this is just like a sound system built into the house, right? She pushes a button and it plays the latest hit record.
Your television screen is easily aimed toward any part of the room.
TV on a swivel. Easy
And
enough.
for a pleasant background of stereo classics, just press for your selections and put them on the Westinghouse Stereo Fidelity set with special speakers that surround you with music.
Surround sound and music selection.
Almost every
Whole house
form
speakers,
of
I
home
would say, right?
entertainment is centered here. AM/FM radio, tape recorder, slide projector,
Slide
games
projector.
of all kinds in drawers that roll out at a touch. There's even equipment for showing your own home movies.
Your
Those
own home
personal
movies.
Dramas and comedies written, starred in, directed, and produced by you.
So those kinds of things right
Sliding
there.
wall of the entertainment.
Did you see the sliding wall? So all these other things for on this little part right here, kind of there, you know, or changed enough that maybe it's not as important, but like, you know, slide projectors, movies, whatever. Okay, so we can show our own home movies, all that stuff. But did you see that wall move? She presses a button
And produced by
and the
you.
wall moves. We need
A
that.
sliding wall of the
We don't have
entertainment center
We need
conceals
that.
a built-in projector that glides out into the room.
Gonna watch some home movies. Embarrass the
Then,
kids.
at the push of a button, the lights lower automatically, a large movie screen comes
Here we go.
down, and it's time for the show.
Okay, that stuff I think a lot of you guys probably already have or something like it, right? Press a button, lights go down, screen comes down. Bingo, right? They do have moving walls in Japan. Is that because they make their walls really light? We need to have that. We need a clock that goes backwards, though. They do have the sliding
Now,
walls.
let's take a look
Okay,
at
this.
the Health and Beauty Center.
There's something in
of
here
the
I really
Total
want you to see,
Electric
too.
Home. The center that keeps you feeling as
TVs
well
that fold
as
into
you look.
walls.
Here,
Okay, wellness
and
center.
throughout the house, beautiful fashion plate switches control your lighting.
Touch sensors. Another wall that
Just
moves out of the
touch
way.
the fashion plate, and lights are on or off.
Touch the
with
fashion
no buttons
plate.
or switches
So
sticking
capacitive
out.
touch buttons. Perfect.
Overhead,
Got them.
sun lamps shine down to give
Sun
you
lamps?
that healthy glow. A
We
true
probably need
sun
more of
bath, even while shaving or making up. Being beautiful is so much easier here, too. There's an electrically warmed mirror that will never fog up.
Electrically warmed mirror that will never fog up. You guys have that? We don't have that. Paper walls don't work in the zombie apocalypse. So electrically warmed mirrors. I didn't know that would do a thing. But I would think that maybe the alternative would be, you know, we do have our vents, right? We do have our fans. And having a humidity sensor in the bathroom that when it gets to a certain level automatically turns on the exhaust fan if it's not already on, right? That's the thing in cars. You have it, Renee? I don't have that. Heated mirrors in for your sister. It was in a hotel that had heated mirrors. We need heated mirrors. Westinghouse says so. Now this.
here is something truly remarkable.
Truly remarkable.
An experimental wall of light. It isn't on the market yet, but when it does go on sale, it will not only illuminate whatever room it's placed in, but also cool the room in summer and heat it in winter.
Okay. A wall of light that also heats and cools the room. Now, I did find a company that, and I know these things exist, right? What is that, like piezoelectric stuff, right? Something like this. You got a metal plate and you apply electricity to it and one side gets hot and one side gets cold, right? So we could do this, couldn't we? Does anybody have anything like this? Does anybody know of a consumer available alternative to something like this? Peelter? WLED update? Peelter cooling systems. Yeah, oh yeah, okay. So these are the kinds of things that I was looking at. Now, here's probably the catch right now is that, yeah, these exist, thermoelectric cooling, but they're kind of small, extremely inefficient. Yeah. We need this, but we need it to be better. Heating is easy enough. Oh, the other thing that I saw, so these are but the other thing I saw, there was actually a, oh my gosh. I can't remember the name of the company. There's a company. No. There is a company that's using, it's infrared. It's a wall. Like this, maybe? Infrared electric panel heater. Yeah. Yeah. Infrared electric panel heater. 800 watts. Designed to disperse heat in a 250 square foot space. So that exists. That's a thing, right? This thing is just power and it's a big old heat box. I saw a thing about a company that's making these. Now, if we could do this, but we also need it to cool. There's a company in California that makes a film that when heat is applied will cool the underside by 10 degrees. Ooh. Heat pumps are extremely efficient until you get down below freezing. Might as well get a split stream setup. Oh, you mean like a mini splits? Is that what you're talking about? Camping freezer. What's this? So these are like, I mean, at the time, I mean, they had refrigerators, right? So, I mean, the refrigerator is going to be able to do this with pumping liquid and stuff, and I guess that really is all electric. But anyways, that's something I was like, that would be really cool, and we don't really have yet, right? But a wall that can heat the room and cool the room somewhat efficiently. Heat pumps are the future. You're right, which is why everybody should have a geothermal heat pump like my Hobbit house. Bathroom floor heating turns on based on humidity, but the mirrors are still foggy. Oh, got to get those mirrors heated up too. The carbon infrared sheet for heating. So the heating, I think, is pretty available, but the cooling we need to work on. And maybe what they need to do is make those piezo or peelter junctions, those cheap electric coolers use it. Yeah. So peelter, but we need it to be more efficient. Yeah, basically refrigerators are heat pumps, right? Don't forget they also need to light up the room, which WLED, we'll just put WLED.
To help maintain that healthy
All right,
tingle,
let's keep going.
an electric massage table, and outside, an electric exerciser. You see, the Health and Beauty Center
Massage
even
table and
extends
exerciser.
outdoors into the fresh air and sunshine. A sliding wall here in the children's quarters
Sliding walls again.
converts one large area into two separate
This takes
bedrooms at night.
the
During
bedrooms
the
and
day, the walls
turns them
slide
into a
back,
study
and
or
this
a
becomes
desk.
the child's education center.
education
There's an
center.
electrically operated planetarium to encourage a study of the stars.
Okay, planetarium to project the stars on the
needs of
ceiling.
the growing children in this house are provided for mentally as well as physically, with plenty of space to study or play. Slide projectors, the latest up-to-date maps of the world, and a whole host of electrical instruments that help the eager mind explore nature's secrets and, incidentally, help with the homework.
So that part for a second, the idea that we could do some sort of interactive electronic thing for kids and education / entertainment. They weren't thinking about computers at this point, right? They didn't ever think probably, or maybe they didn't think at this point that you're going to have a computer in your house and that the kids would have access to all the latest maps and all that stuff through Google, right? But yes, an iPad can handle all those things. One thing that I like that I would still love to be able to implement somehow is there were those projectors that also had the position cameras. It was kind of like when Xbox 3, what was that called? The Kinect, right? Xbox Kinect, right? Where you moved your arms and it sensed where you're moving your arms and stuff. They had something like that where it would project something on the ground and the kids could kind of interact with it. So something like that, some sort of interactive projecting thing. But we also have VR and everything else now. So, I mean, we're there. Just interesting. Okay, Dad's workshop.
Hobbies aren't forgotten
Here we go.
here in the Total Electric home either.
Hobbies.
They're more fun than ever here in the Hobby Center. Notice how compactly everything is arranged, with tools and supplies that tuck away into the smallest possible space.
Tool
Everything
storage.
is accessible
Very
at
important.
the touch of a button.
Another
Compactly
sliding wall.
stored behind sliding
Where did that wall
walls,
go? Let's
and
go
is
up.
protected by an electric dehumidifier, which also helps keep the workshop dry.
Okay,
There's
dehumidifier.
even a smaller version of the workshop for the kids. Designed primarily as a model building workshop,
Model building
child
workshop.
size
Oh,
to help
thank
encourage
you.
the fun of
Thanks, Rasby.
building and creating. To complete the home workshop, there's even a paint spray booth.
Paint spray
Equipped
booth.
as he is with the latest in power tools and equipment, there's no job that's too big
They
for
even
Dad
sprayed
to
some paint
tackle.
on the inside of it there.
Of course, Total Electric Living moves outdoors to the patio easily and conveniently. Here's a new idea: a portable power pole that sets into pre-wired locations and lets you use your television or any of your appliances outdoors.
Okay, so I guess they're talking about having this pole, this power pole, that you could put in some pre-wired location. So you take this power pole, pull it out of one spot where it must have been plugged in the ground to a box or whatever, move it to another spot and plug it in. So then you could power things over there. I guess we just invented extension cords instead, but kind of sounds cool. Yeah, like a projected keyboard.
If
Yeah,
there
like
are
that,
insects,
but better.
the touch of
Or
a button
more like,
provides screened-in comfort.
boom, look at
Screens
that.
are
Where
in
did that
place
come
at
from?
night, out of the way during daylight hours. There are even wind screens that move at
Wind
the touch
screens?
of a button to give protection.
So these
from
kinds of things, these
wandering
moving
bees.
walls.
Eating outdoors
need
is
that.
better than ever, too, in the Total Electric home. Here's a food and service bar that can be assembled in many different ways. And because it's topped with Westinghouse micarta, it is stain and beverage resistant, can be cleaned up with a simple wipe of a
Is
damp
that a
cloth.
jalapeno? Yummy.
Set into
Maybe
its
it's a pickle.
micarta top is the electric barbecue. complete
Electric
with
barbecue,
electric starter
rotisserie.
and an electric rotisserie. There's even
Got all
an
that.
appliance center and a food and dish warmer.
Food and dish warmer.
In the Total Electric home, all the conveniences are yours outdoors as well as indoors. But the real heart of this home is clean, safe, electric heating.
Huh?
A home is not totally electric without it. Yes, a new concept in living with the feel of the future is here today in this Westinghouse total electric home.
So that's the most of it.
And the wonder of it is, total electric living is not expensive. What's more, total electric homes can be built to fit every
Modern
taste
electrical
in
inspector would say
styling,
about some of this stuff.
any climate, and most important, to suit any price range. As
To
a
suit
matter
any
of fact,
price range.
total electric living is well within the reach of most people planning to build, buy, or remodel. The total electric home is another reason we can say that when it comes to leading the way with new ideas for better living, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
You can be sure if it's Westinghouse. So anyways, that was pretty fun. Yeah, they're wrong about the pricing. I think about like, okay, what would it have actually been like to have all that stuff? You know, what kind of a living was that guy making, right? Who was he? They really didn't know the cost of power in the future, right? Nobody with a spray booth has a suit. Wireless charging. Okay, so that was kind of fun. Now let's think about a couple things, just for the sake of finishing up the exercise here. Let's think of a couple things that are gonna be available in houses in 70 years. Wireless charging. You think wireless charging is gonna be the thing? It probably is. I remember watching something recently about wireless charging, especially about charging cars, wirelessly charging the cars. And to me, the loss of energy was so bad. Like, I mean, there's got to be a better way, but yeah, the wireless car charging, Ofer, I watched something about that. Oh man, you lose so much power. Maybe they're going to make it so that you lose less somehow. Whole room charging. You know, Marshmallow Man, I have a neighbor guy here who works in tech investment stuff, right? So anyways, one of the things that he talked about years ago was that you would have a thing, you know, a pod in the middle of your house or your room or whatever, and that thing would be charging all your phones and all your stuff, right? Running all these things wirelessly, transmitting power wirelessly. So it is inefficient, but hopefully it gets better. A pad or something wired, like sort of what you would do with the cell phones, etc. Yeah. I mean, the closer you can get to the thing, the more efficient it's going to be, right? You just want it to not. So I was thinking about, well, what if you just had like these, you know, big pads, big metal pads, and you just kind of drove your car up on it, like your robot vacuum, right? Your robot vacuum just kind of drives up onto the contacts. That's all fine and good, except, you know, if something goes bad, you've got hundreds of volts of potential, and somebody drops a metal-handled shovel or a wrench, and, you know, that would be bad. But charging pad on a robot that auto-connects your car. Yeah, I would think if you could drive up on something, or if something could come up out of the ground and touch, you know, maybe something a little bit easier. It's not that hard to plug it in. I mean, we have electric cars. It's easy enough. Be able to 3D print anything, including food. 3D printing food. Electric cars, automated battery swaps. Electric field coupling is tricky and ineffective. What about, let's think about, so probably this electric cooling. Maybe we'll get some better electric cooling. Do you think we'll get more augmented reality? Do you think maybe we won't have as much definitive decoration in our house, as much as you will be able to modify for yourself what the house looks like? Maybe you can transmit that to people, but basically, what if you had kind of blank walls and somebody's Google Glasses or whatever is going to show them a different color on the wall than what you see? Could that be a thing? Or a different artwork? Could that be a thing? So 3D printing food. What about energy? mean, solar panels probably aren't going away. They're probably just going to get better, more efficient, more available. It's probably going to be pretty standard. Directional speakers, that might be cool. What other things do we really need? Maybe just more efficient things, you know, and like water, heating water, LSD. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, more of these automatic doors. You think we'll have more kind of automatic doors? I think things that we really need are like more efficient houses that don't take so much energy to heat and cool because they're able to maintain their temperature better, which means we should really be living underground. Like everybody should be building hobbit houses and living underground, right? Company having G10 socket light with wireless charging devices like lamps under the device. Ooh. NFC EV charging. Device to capture water from the air. Oh. So just suck the water right out of the air, and that's how you have water in your whatever, where you need it. Internet everywhere. Noise cancellation mechanisms. Ooh, that'd be good. So you don't hear other stuff outside. As efficient as they will ever get, does he? Okay, well, Elon knows a lot of stuff. How's it going, Nicholas? Because you're a doctor, is there a video similar to what you've seen with medical innovations? I will look for one, Yona. That would be fun. I will look. New brightest white paint. It drops the temperature significantly. Ooh, interesting. Comment that made a few years ago. I'll have to see. I'm trying to think. Let's think if this, just spend a couple more minutes on this. What else? What else? And then with the augmented reality thing, maybe it'd be something like projectors everywhere. You know how people are like projecting on front of the house to like, you know, for shows? What if you had rooms in your house and you had projectors that were projecting on the walls or something like that? What other ways do we interact with things? Do you think we'll have robots? Like the robot vacuum concept will evolve into something that brings you dinner? If you just, you know, I press a button and some little thing comes wheeling up here with a Dr. Pepper for me? Maybe. Hopefully better building materials. What other kinds of things? Entertainment things. Probably more things, more of this cleanliness kind of stuff, right? Now this COVID's scared the crap out of everybody. We're going to have more filtering, more air filtering. So you can like in a Tesla, you can press the hazard, the biohazard button, right? I don't know if that, I assume that kicks on like some sort of a HEPA filter sort of thing. A holodeck, yep. Israel company introduced device that collects water from the air a few years ago. Robot vacuums mop combos will only be better. And they'll probably be, I mean, won't they do other things? Remember there was a thing not that long ago where there was a lot of these robot window cleaners, right? I never got one. I wanted to see how they worked, but now they seem to have disappeared. I already have robot delivery. What am I going to do when the kids move out? The kids are, see, it's like, it's a perfect storm, Nicholas. It's a perfect storm brewing. The kids are going to move out. I'm going to be less mobile, and I'm still going to need Dr. Pepper. I am going to need a robot. A cool door. Was that the door that you could like see through sometimes? Dehumidifier. Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, that's fun. I enjoy this. I enjoy going through this and looking at it. Automatic opening doors. And I think we need to like, if we're going to do automatic doors, they probably do need to evolve. The door itself needs to evolve. Like the old-fashioned swinging door is probably not the best way to do it anymore. The doors are going to want to, we're going to want them to slide in, slide out. Like we have the, you know, we have pocket doors. We just need pocket doors on a motor and a fast one, you know, zip sensors so that if you get a hand or somebody's in there, it, you know, backs up or whatever. Domino's delivers pizza via robot. Yeah, electric pocket doors for sure. I think this, you know, PoE lighting, this, or not PoE necessarily, but low voltage lighting, that's got to be a thing. We got to stop putting 120 or 200 volt AC to every light switch in the house. It's just unnecessary. I do think some of those things, like we'll have rooms full of sensors, right? So if you've been in a Tesla, and all the sensors that are going on there just to know everything that's happening. Houses are going to be like that. I think you'll have a one of those like multi sensors that people were making for a while there, you know, temperature, humidity, light, presence, I don't even remember what all else you could do, motion, and etc. Smoke and CO2 or not CO2, carbon monoxide, all that kind of stuff, like in one little sensor in each room, with the little camera and all that stuff. Meta will be Ready Player One. Like, you know what? I think there probably will be a lot of that too. That may be a lot of it too. Cool electric pocket doors at CES this year. PoE powered multi sensors. They all have LEDs for night lights. Cool. Okay, so now let's move on to the next thing. Haptic suits and Ready Player One. All right, let's move on to the next thing. So I put a few things in the video description that I wanted to talk about. This was the first one. And then I know one of them I was thinking, might as well talk about this. The ability to be anywhere in the world via AR tech, all around to DrZzs on Sunday. No more Saturday in front of the screen. No more sitting in front of the screen. That's right. We're all just going to be sitting you're going to be sitting at the Hobbit house. We're just going to make it so you can be there. I do want to do some like 360 camera stuff so people can like take a walk around. Wouldn't that be fun? I got to figure out how to do that. All this talk is making me want to finally set up home. This is come on, Marshmallow Man. The pie has been in the box for like 2 months. Come on, man. Now's the time, brother. Do it. Okay. So we talked last week a bit about my dilemma with internet or with Ethernet with the network extension up to the pavilion. Just to give you the update, after looking at a lot of different solutions, a lot of wireless solutions where you're beaming the signal up the hill, problem with those was price was a lot, but the price for what I decided to do was the same about. But the obstruction, like if something gets in the way and it loses the signal, or just having to see it, having to look at it and see it maybe sometimes, and for the price, I'm just gonna dig a trench. So I went ahead and bought 1,000 feet of direct bury cable, and I got a couple of those Mictronic or something, some repeaters, some PoE repeaters. So I'm gonna have to run a PoE line out. I'll probably put at least one, maybe two repeaters to get it up there. You told me so, Barry. That's okay. I don't mind. You can say you told me so. So that's what it's gonna be. And then I gotta find probably some tubing to bury as well. It would be nice if I saw some that had like a pull string already in it. Not that it's a huge deal to add a pull string, but I know a lot of people say optical cable, but I don't want to mess with potentially breaking it or whatever. So I'm gonna run an Ethernet cable and put in a blank a pipe. A pipe. It won't be a very deep trench, and I've got nothing in the way of digging the trench, so I'm just going to dig the trench. But yeah, I'll want one with a pull string. Drop fiber while you have a ditch. I'll price the fiber. I would just be afraid to break it or cause problems with it, but I'll price it. Okay. Even if I don't connect it, if I don't need it, I'll just see if it's there. It's a pain to do it yourself, to put the wire, get one with a pull string. Yeah. So the guys that did our electrical pipe, that did the burying for us, they tied the string to a bag and then stuck a leaf blower in there and pushed the bag up out of there. I would just buy it with the cable in it because I saw some that already have a cable in it, so it's just easier. Even if you don't use the fiber now, just have it for later. Yeah. What does fiber cost per foot, basically? And if it's $100, that's fine. If it's $500, I probably won't. But we'll see. And I'm not like I don't need the connection that I need up at the pavilion, at least for now. Things change. I don't need like a gigabit. I just need to be able to connect some things. I do want a couple cameras, but they're going to be intermittently streaming. It's not going to be that much. Run a pull string and leave it. You'll want to add something 100% in the future. Between $1 and $6 per linear foot. Okay. No way you can break the optical stuff. You need to bend it 180 degrees to break it. Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's good to know. That's good to know. So that's going to be happening. I don't know when it's going to happen. I bought the stuff. Some of it's arrived. Some of it's still arriving. That does lead into, however, my next fun thought / idea that I wanted to share with you guys. So we got this Hobbit thing, right? You can't do it by hand. It's really hard to break it. 500 feet and 2 media converters is around $120 Canada. Wow, that's not much. Multi-channel cable is all you'll ever need. Everybody keeps saying fiber, fiber, fiber. Okay. All right. So let me tell you what I'm going to do. I got on the way a couple of these Reolink cameras. I bought them. Reolink would probably send me stuff for free, but I don't need to be obligated to anybody. I can just buy the dang camera. So let's see. What I ended up with was a couple of these E1. I did get an E1 outdoor, but I got a couple of these E1 Pros. And the reason I got this was because these do, even though they are Wi-Fi, or they can be Wi-Fi, they also have Ethernet, and I want Ethernet. But what I got was the black ones, like this, okay? Now, some of you guys that were in on the chat about this know where I'm going with this. But I'm going to take this camera because I need to like keep the decoration. I need to keep the theme going, right? Up at the Whobbit-House. So I am going to take one of those cameras and I am going to make, oops. This. I'm going to paint this on one of those cameras. And I'm going to start by experimenting with this one. So this is a SwitchBot camera that they sent me at Christmas time that is decorated like a reindeer, which is super cute, but you know, I don't need a reindeer camera. I really don't. But this will give me an opportunity to play with, and this is actually about the same size as the Reolink E1 camera. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this stuff off. I will start with some black paint on the outside of it. And then I'm going to take this thing and paint on it to make it look like the eye of Sauron. Won't that be awesome? It won't be the reindeer of Sauron. Then I need this. Don't you think I need this to put it in? Right? I need this. And then somehow modify the case if I can, so that it will go up here. So I'm gonna, for funsies, I'm gonna start 3D printing this thing and see what comes out, see what I can do with it. There are a couple options. This one I felt like was the best one. This is actually a dice tower, so you can roll your dice in it. But I'm gonna see if I can put the camera on top of this. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be awesome? And I do have a vinyl cutter. So if you know, and I've thought about, well, do I get a sticker? You may have seen that I had searched for Eye of Sauron sticker to see, well, maybe I just want a sticker. And maybe if I can just put a sticker on there and just cut the hole out for the camera, that might be a really good way to do it. Of course, hot glue. Of course, Marshmallow Man, hot glue. Vinyl might be the way to go. Yeah, the thing is, there's so many colors in there. Like it really is, you know, there's several colors. There's some orange, there's some red, there's some yellow, black, you know, all that in there. So I'm wondering about just, you know, a sticker like that. I don't know. I might get a sticker just to try it, you know. It's got to be a good one. It's got to be like this, you know. I just can't believe that those aren't on that those aren't on eBay. But see, that's what I'm going for. This is going to be my camera sitting right in the middle. And when I move it around, it's going to look like the camera, right? 3D print the whole thing and take the electronics out of the camera, right? And that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if I can, I don't know how much of it I can take out, but I could probably take some of it, right? I'm totally stealing this idea. I'll race you to it, Marshmallow Man. I'll race you to it. Let's see who gets it done first, and then we can compare notes. Let's work on it together, because this is a for real thing that I need in the Hobbit house, right? Did someone say stickers? Okay, so that's fun, right? That is fun. And I ended up getting, I think I got a 2-pack of these. So I ended up with the E1 Pro because it was a little bit better definition in some of those things. Oh, and because it came in black, you could get the black option. So I got it in black. And then it has the Ethernet thing on the back. And then I did for the pavilion, up at the pavilion, I'm going to have one of these outdoor ones as well. So I'm going to put one of these outdoor ones at the pavilion, one of these in the main room in the house, and I don't know where I'll put the other one, but we'll see. But in the meantime, while I'm going to experiment with this guy here. So got to take these ears off. I'm not going to necessarily do it right now, but just so you guys know where my efforts are going and what I'm working on, that's what it is. Oh, I'm going to peel these ears off. Goodbye, Mr. Ears. Anyways, pretty fun, hey? You lose pound... I don't know. I probably will lose most of the pan tilt zoom if I take it apart, but I've got this one to experiment with. So this will be my experimentation, and I will see what I can do, what I need to do. Life-size Gandalf statue with a PTZ at the end of the staff. Oh, or just the staff. I could just buy the staff and put it on the end. I was talking, we were having a discussion in Discord about ways to hide the cameras. I don't necessarily want to hide the cameras. Like, I want people who rent the place to just realize that there's going to be some cameras in the public places. I mean, it's too precious of a property for me not to have eyes on the place. And even if not necessarily while people are there, I mean, all they're going to be able to have is my word that I'm not going to look at it while they're there. But if something's broken when somebody's done using it, I need to go back and look at the NVR and see who broke it, right? And then there's a lot of times where there's nobody there. And when there's nobody there, I definitely need to be keeping an eye on it and knowing for sure, that nobody's there. Like right now, let's check it out. Let's peek in on the Hobbit house because I like to do that. If you took it apart, it would never work again. Well, I'm gonna take this one apart, and then we'll see what happens. So there's the pool table room. I probably won't replace this one with a pan tilt, and I probably won't put any more. I may put one in the TV room. Not 100% sure about that, because the TV room could also be a bedroom. I just want to be mindful of that. But then here's the front door. Look how beautiful that is. So the birdhouse is a great place potentially to put the camera. I think that's probably what I'll do. And even if it's not this birdhouse, I will probably put a birdhouse or a bird feeder or something like that in a spot where I want to see the pavilion, because I need to know. I want to see the driveway, and of course I want to see the front door. And then I've got the back deck here covered as well. This one would be nice also to have a pan tilt, but I think I may just do a couple of still cameras instead. We had some really bad wind. It blew the lamp right off of this thing and it broke. Oh. Anyway. So I got to find a couple places to hide some things. But yeah. Fun times, huh? Fun times. So if you come to the Hobbit house, just know Sauron is watching. Do I still have that cellular connected camera? No, you know what? The camera worked. I still have it. It's sitting right here. It keeps losing the cell function, and then something broke on the SD card slot, so that the SD card slot doesn't work anymore. I would love to get this thing working again. It was really a useful camera. In fact, a good part of the cover of the video that they used on the Discovery Channel show that they did came from this camera. This camera got a lot of that they used in their show. So it was really good. But now the cell, what I think has happened with it is when the battery dies, it seems to like lose connection to the cell network and then never does it. It never gets it back again. So I've spent a lot of time playing with it, trying to get it to work again, and I haven't. Maybe they would replace it for me. I should probably ask them. They sent it to me for free the first time, so I kind of feel bad asking them for another one. So, and it might be just because I abused it. I don't know. We'll see. But I do like it. Anyone else want to sneak up there and wander around as Dark Riders? Do it, John. Do it. That'd be awesome. You got to put some work into that grass. I do. And that's coming this summer. I bought the stuff. It should be here this week. What I ended up buying was this GeoCell stuff. Oops. This kind of stuff. In fact, I think this is the place I bought it from. So I bought some of this stuff. I bought the stuff the stuff that's 6 inches deep so that there will be lots of soil. And then I've got my excavator is going to bring over a bunch of topsoil for us. We're going to have to pull down a lot of the stuff that's up there that's not really functional. And we'll lay this stuff up there. We'll secure it with some stakes, and then we'll pack it with really good soil. And then it should start to grow pretty fast after that. Show up on a couple of black horses. Oh, that would be so fun. I bet you we could find some friends up there with some black horses that would let us ride them. Or that they would ride them, you know? If we could just get our neighbors, just call the neighbors and say, hey, would you guys just put on like a black cape and a hood and just go ride your horses up on our property? That would be so fun. Oh my gosh, that'd be hysterical. Anyway, so yeah, I do got to get some work done on that grass, and I'm going to do it. And actually, we've had a trip planned for Lake Powell, but we got word today that the boat that we're supposed to go on is potentially not going to be able to get into the water because the water is so low. So sad day for us, but if that happens, I'll have like 10 days in a row in July to be up at the Hobbit-House. So we'll get her done. And you know, back to the electric cooling thing. I mean, we do have electric cooling at the Hobbit-House because we have the geothermal heat pump, which is going to be able to cool the floors. And based on what I'm seeing up there right now, I would think that maybe the next time we go up there, we might need to be cooling the floors. Well, I'll give it a try and see how it goes. Outdoor solar power one for a radio tower at work, and it has never died for us. This one, you've had this one that never died? You know, the camera seems to work. It's just, it won't connect to the cell network, and it's killing me. Just killing me. Really sad, because I love this little camera, and I would use it all the time. Super useful to be able to pan, tilt, and everything all over the place. So, 2 kids who dress up randomly run across the field. Good times, good times. All right. Was there something else to talk about? We could talk about we could talk a little bit about a couple things I had to do with Home Assistant this week. It's the Wi-Fi version of this one. Well, now that we have Wi-Fi up there, you know, we might do that. But I think what I would use would be this one. This Outdoor E1 is pretty good. It's simple, but it's now outdoor rated. So I think I would use this one. That's $100. What else do they have? I don't think I have any use for those dual ones. Hi, what's up, buddy? Good.
I was responsible and I hung them up. They just fell.
Oh, good. Okay, love you. So this Argus PT, maybe I should have bought this one too. How much does this one cost? $140. What makes this one so good? Wire free. So this one is so good because it's solar. where the E1 has to be connected to something else. So this is Wi-Fi and solar, wire-free camera, 4 megapixel pan tilt. I wish I could convert mine. Oh, I know what else it was going to be. Installed several hundred of them. The Amcrest cameras. Well, you know what? I do have Amcrest cameras up there too. I just like having the NVR, you know, the Reolink NVR to be able to capture the video and its PoE and all that stuff. So you found a solution to my Wi-Fi problem. What's that? Blue Iris, yeah, ESP32, 10-kilometer Wi-Fi link. What? Is that such a thing, Yusuf? Which actually, you're reminding me of something I was thinking about earlier too, and that is that is that this thing? Wah. I could probably make use of LoRa. I should probably get into LoRa now that I have these long distances that I want to try and send signals. I should probably try LoRa. Just installed Eufy doorbell camera, but struggling to get everything into Home Assistant. I don't have Eufy. I don't have Eufy, Mark. Wonder who does. So I need to check this out, huh? Okay, I'll keep this up. Right on. I've done 1 kilometer. Not quite the antenna you have. So that actually is pretty cool. Played with some ESP32s, and in true hacker fashion, he wondered how far he could pull them apart and still get data flowing. This video answer to that question covers Freese equation, has a lot of good examples of using the equation, decibels, and even a practical example that covers about 10 kilometers. That is nutso. You can see the video below. Of course, to get that kind of range, you need a directional antenna. To avoid violating regulations that control transmit power, he's using the antenna on the receiving end. That also means he had to hack the ESP32 Wi-Fi stack to make the device listen only on one side. Hack involves putting the device in promiscuous mode and only monitoring the signals being sent. You can find the code on GitHub. Of course, antennas are nothing new, like all the Pringle can antennas we've seen in the past. However, the use of a long-range receiver only module is interesting, and we can see this technique having applications to remote drone video or telemetry, and of course, war driving. If you don't have a big boss antenna lying around, you might try some duct tape. If you want more detailed refresher on decibels, we did last month. Interessante. I'll give it a watch. I'll read it. Check it out. Beyond helping. Strange. Have all entities but no camera video. It is strange. I don't know much about it. I don't know much about it. All right. Now, last thing. Well, I guess it's not the last. The last thing that I had on my list to talk about, and then maybe we can start. We'll tear apart this camera and we can start. Maybe we can pick a sticker. I don't know. We'll do a few things. Last thing I want to talk about, and since Mark's here, because I think Mark, weren't you the one that brought this up before? Something I'm going to call the Smarty Pants, ESP32 pants. So we've got these now, right? And these are actually the same form factor as the D1 minis of the same, ESP32s. But because we have, Quindor making these, quality control in them, plus they've got an external antenna version, plus an Ethernet version. To me, these are what we want to be using for smart home DIY stuff. They don't have to just run WLED, right? You can run ESP Home or anything else on these. You could use this for what this guy's talking about, and probably even just get an antenna that you can connect to that and make the antenna really, make the distance really long just by connecting that. Probably could do it. But what I want to do is make a pair of pants. Just like the, do pants know when to change them? So really, the Dig Uno and the Dig Quad is a pair of pants. In my mind, it's a pair of pants. It goes underneath, right? It's not a hat because it doesn't go on top. You could say this is the hat maybe, but I say it's a pair of pants. So what I want to do with this pair of pants is this is designed specifically for LEDs, right? You could probably use it for other things because it's just outputs. So you could use it for other things. And maybe that's something I need to try, just using an ESP home sketch and then changing these outputs to inputs and sensors and whatever. But what I want to do is have a board, maybe something similar form factor to this, that has, here's my sketch. Here's me sketching. Okay. So we're going to do this. We'll have, you know, plus and minus coming in just like that before. And then I would like to have, you know, down one side, I have a bunch of screw terminals. On this side, a bunch of screw terminals. Over here, screw terminals, right? And I think we have red screw terminals over here that will be probably 5 volts. We have black ones over here, which will probably be ground, right? And then down here, these will be our GPIO screw terminals. And I think at least one of the, well, I think we only need one, but one pair of these, maybe we'll make these blue or whatever, yellow or something else. And these will be I2C, right? So that'll have the chip between this and these to be able to do I2C on here. So with I2C, you can have a whole bunch of stuff on there, right? You can have a whole bunch of sensors and stuff on there. It's basically a breakout board. Exactly, it's a breakout board, but it's specific for this. And one of the things that's going to be important is that when this thing has the Ethernet hat, and the Ethernet thing really is a hat, when that thing has the Ethernet hat on it, like this, there are a lot of pins you can't use, right? There's still plenty of pins you can, but it will be important that these GPIO pins and that these I2C pins are going to be the right pins, okay? And we may have, you know, I'll look at it, and if any of you guys are interested in helping me with this or want to talk about it, we can make another sub chat in Discord where we spend a little time specifically on this. I want to make sure we kind of cover all the things that we need and just give it some good thought, and then make it a thing. Make it a thing that you can get, just like this, where, you know, if you want one of these, you can pretty easily do your own. And I would envision, and I don't know if this is going to be really practical or possible yet, but I would envision that this may be, we may come up with an ESP home, a generic ESP home sketch for this that we could, you know, flash on here that would be set up already with the specifics for like the I2C, and, you know, maybe you could have some that are outputs and some that are inputs, right? So some would control a relay or even a motor or whatever, right? And then some that would be taking sensor input or switch input. Okay? What do you think? Stemma QT I2C. What's that, Panda Boy? Tell me about that. I don't know what that is. If you guys know of a breaker board or a breakout board like this that already exists, let me know. Why am I getting Wallace and Gromit, the wrong pants, trousers feeling? I don't think I've seen that one. So if you guys know of anything like this, tell me about it, and let's see if we need to figure it out. Okay. And C# worm. Oh, you know what? We could use this for the alarm. Are you still using your Mega alarm? I never did really. I mean, mine's still there. It's still hooked up. I just haven't really made it. Haven't really turned it into anything. But basically, it would be not so much a DigUno. I guess a DigUno alternative, but DigUno is for LEDs. Right? It's designed for LEDs. It's ready for LEDs. This would be like a DIY smart home device. And you could do some LEDs with it. I wouldn't necessarily say you would run WLED, because if you're going to run WLED, just use this. This is going to be just ready, right? And it's going to have the right, this will have the output boosters and some of those things. On this, we might not need those output boosters. Maybe we do. Maybe we output boost one of them. You know, one of the signals. I don't know. Oh, it's Adafruit's 4-pin connector system for plug-and-play sensors. Oh. Oh, that's this connector system. Oh, okay. So yeah, and so maybe instead of having all screw terminals, we have a couple of these. Maybe it's these kinds of connectors here, right? Stemma connectors. I like it. I like it. For plug and play sensors. I like it. So they have a whole bunch of sensors that are made to connect to these kinds of things, right? There you go. I like the idea of having screw terminals because screw terminals make it possible. Heck, we could even, I should probably just try what I should probably do. Let's start with, I'm going to start with making a sketch, an ESP-Home sketch that turns the Dig quad into what I'm talking about. I'm going to start there. Okay, I'm going to start there. But I think, even the quad has extra pins over here that you can connect jumpers to. I would like those to be connected to screw terminals. And the quad has like this power distribution where you're distributing whatever power is coming in on the input side because you want 12 volts going to the output side. I don't envision this board needing to distribute a lot of power. So that's going to be a big difference between what the quad would be, like what the quad is designed for and what this would be designed for. This would be like to take the place of like a Signoff 4-channel board or a multi-sensor, right? You could take this and you could just plug in the sensors that you want. You could get relay boards to add to it. Excuse my burping. You could get microphones to add to it. You could get outputs. You could add a display, all those kinds of things. Make a video on making an ESP-Home sketch. Focus, 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 focus. Darn you, autofocus. To look at my hand. Sorry. Autofocus. Help a brother out. Help a brother. There it is. Just leave it alone for a minute and it'll work. Can we do sound on an ESP32? So there is, look at this. So maybe, this might be something too. I think if we just make a really good breakout board for this, we can probably do a lot of things. There is, if you go to ESP-Home, the ESP-Home site here, there is an SD card board component. Where is it? Is it this one? DF player. So this little guy, this DF player, can be powered by 3 volts outputs in the Node MCU. Connect only to the TX pin if you need feedback of playback active. So from this thing, you can do audio output. A built-in 3-watt audio amplifier. So from this little device, you can play audio. There's probably others, right? You can get tiny amplifiers, and then it's just, oh, thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. From this little tiny device here, which there is an ESP-Home component for, you can do audio output, and you can play it off of an SD card that's in the device. And that's good. Alex Kidd, you seem to know more about it. I don't know for sure whether it has a DAC processor or not. I assume that this thing does, but I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. But it looks like that. It looks like the idea for this is to connect this to an Arduino ESP kind of device and then make it play audio for you. Make a smart home, in-home audio system. There's an ongoing thread in ESP-Home Discord on hacking a dumb doorbell to be controlled by an ESP32. Nice. Over Ethernet, that's right. Device says it connects to a DAC module, so that seems separate. Okay, so you need a DAC module separate. I wonder, what do they have in here? ESP32 DAC. Allows you to output analog voltages using 8-bit digital to analog converter of the ESP32. Unlike the ESP32 LED-C output, which can simulate an analog signal by using a fast switching frequency, the hardware DAC can output a real analog signal with no need for additional filtering. The DAC spans across 2 pins, each on its own channel, GPIO 25 and 26. The output level is a percentage of the board supply voltage. Generally, this will be 3.3 volts. Will that do it, Alex? Does that mean we can do it? And then Automotive Solutions just popped in there with the same thing, saying that that GPIO 25 is what you need. Oh, this thing can be connected to modules DAC. Oh yeah, so that's connected to, so that's the right left. It would appear you can do it with that plus the amp. The DAC converts digital to analog that a speaker needs, and then amp makes it loud enough to hear. It's possible. Pretty sweet, eh? So I need to play with this. This is going to be some fun. Like, I've got nothing but extra time to play with this, but this is what I enjoy. DF player data sheet. I need to buy some of these. Where do you get some of these? Where do you get this guy? And then there was something else I was going to look at too. What did we talk about? Looking for the... Oh, I wanted to just search for breakout boards. So Mouser has them for $9. AliExpress has them for 82 cents. Should probably just buy a pack of them because I'm not in a hurry to get them. All right, let's just buy like a pack of these. Or we can just keep searching. Maybe I can find them here in a pack. Sometimes you can. Like that, right there. Let's see if there's any others. Here's another pack of 5. Another pack of 5. Pack of 10. Here's a pack of 10 for $11 plus $1 shipping. Yeah, okay. We're going to add that to the cart. Pretty cool, eh? Smart home in-home audio system over Ethernet is your retirement plan. All right, let's get there. Okay. Let's do search now before we give up on this. Let's do search for ESP32 Mini Breakout. Because there's potentially something already like this. Nope, see, that's a Node MCU form factor. This is, you put the ESP32 chip right on it. And it's not the Huzzah 32 breakout board. Nope. Nope. I want something more. Well, this is good. This is, so something like this, but that's not it either, right? And it's got to fit this form factor, which is the the ESP32 Mini form factor. So it's going to fit this form factor. And I don't know that I see one. Okay. Well then, if it doesn't exist, if you build it, they will come. And Jordan's back. Thank goodness. So what, let's brainstorm for a minute now. So we did talk a little bit about the audio. So we know that the audio, if we wanted to do audio out, we need GPIO 25 and 26. Okay, so those would have to be the audio out. I know if we should get the analog in as well, which there are several analog in pins that we can use. So we'll want to get those analog in pins available as well. And then the I2C. right? We want I squared C, a couple pins for I squared C. And then I think that may be it. And then if we can leave, you know, I don't know, 6 or 7 other pins, other just generic GPIO pins, we should be in pretty good shape. So that's, let's say if we get 1, 2 of those, let's say 2 of those analogs, because analog in, you may need a microphone, you may want to dial. So let's do 2 of those analog pins available. So 2, 4, 6 of those and 6 of those. So if we had 12, terminals to connect to, that would do it. And then a lot of these, some of these won't need them, but a lot of these will need, you know, you're going to hook up a temperature sensor, or you're going to hook up a relay or something. You're going to need power and ground and the GPIO. So that's why I want to have, you know, power and ground and GPIO. I think that would be pretty cool. What are we building, Jordan? We are building the ultimate Quinn ESP32 home automation DIY breakout board. Oh, okay. So I want to make I'm calling it the Smarty Pants, because it's for the smart home, and it's E for ESP32, and it's pants because it goes on the bottom of the ESP32, the Quinn ESP32. So that's what we want to do. And my guess is it will be somewhere in size, it will be something between the Uno and the Quad. And that's what I see. That is what I see. What do you guys think? Could be controlled via Home Assistant in zones. ESP Home is pretty limitless as far as that goes. I mean, even if there's something it can't do, it probably will do it later or soon. Had to step away. What are we talking about? Oh, I just gave you the rundown, Chris. Now you know. Right? And we just looked at, what we were looking at too was some of the discussion recently was about analog output. So can you output audio from an ESP32? And the answer is yes, you can. And to do that, because it does have digital to audio conversion on the chip, if you use GPIO 25 and 26. But then you need, well, I don't even know if you need it, but then you use something like this to get playback from an SD card, and this has like a dual channel 3-watt amplifier output. So it'll, won't be bursting your eardrums, but 3-watt output, you can get some speaker output from this. All right, the realm is here. Thank goodness. Thanks for being here. And then one of the things we just did was just did a quick Google search. Robert Watkins, thank you for subscribing. We haven't done this in a while. This is the new one. Oh, I forgot. I gotta put the sound on this one so I know what this is. You guys hear that? Squirrel bounce. I want that one. Squirrel bounce. I need it to be monitor and output. So now I'll hear it when I do it again. Did you like that one? That's a new one I made a while back and I haven't used very much. Okay. Where's the train? You want the train? Here comes the train. Choo-choo, baby. All right. What were we doing? I forgot. We were looking at the I2C module. Let's look at the I2C module, because that's something I'll need to know about. I2C. Alternative noise. Do we need a separate module, or does the ESP32, I think the ESP32 can just do it, right? You love that horn, don't you? Don't you, Marshmallow Man? You do love that horn. So some of this stuff I have to learn still myself, but that doesn't scare me. Communication, set pins, multiple bus interfaces. Okay, good. So it probably does it right off the bat as well. Let's just hope that which pins it needs are not too picky. Communication protocol. Oh, you know what? Let's just look right on ESP Home. That would be the thing to do. So there's a whole bunch of these. Let's just do this. Power sensor, I mean, that's another thing you can do with it. Although I think you would probably be best to have some other circuitry, right? If you just connect it directly, it's not going to maybe be the best. So these are the pins you need, right? SDA and SCL. So in this example, they're using 12 and 14. So that's fine. We can do that. We can do 12 and 14. The other thing that we'll have to consider, and Quindor shared it with me a while back, but I'll have to ask him for it again because or maybe I just can, if I look far enough back in my, chats with Quindor, but you know, him and I chat a lot, so things get pushed back pretty quickly. Not like the LED room where, you know, I'll get a ping that says you were mentioned in the LED room, and by the time I get there to check it, like 150 new messages have gone by. Does the water wHat use 2526? If not, you could audio over Ethernet. Yeah, that's what I need to find out. C# Worm, exactly right. And it may, so we may have trouble there. And that's what I was going to look at. We could just, maybe we can poke around on Quindor's site and see if he posted it on his site. Otherwise, I can look at it because he said he had posted this info for people to do this, right? Basically, it opened up the you know, what all the pins are used for so that people could do something just like this. And I would love to think that part of it was because I had mentioned to him a long time ago that this is what I wanted to do. So, and I know he wanted to do something like this as well, but he's just been so tied up with developing new and even more awesome LED stuff, which some you guys have seen. If you watch his streams, you've probably seen some of it. If you haven't yet, you will very soon see some of what he's done. It's incredible. You guys are gonna just love it. Ooh, what's this? See this. Oh, let's check it out. Okay. Still not quite the thing, is it? WeMOS X1 Shield. Let's see. Maybe it is. Sort of. Oh, come on. What is wrong with this thing? It doesn't like this. So maybe that is part of it. Kind of sort of breaks it out, doesn't it? I still think there's room for another, still think there's room for another product, but thank you for finding that. The closest you could find, good. If that's the closest there is, oh, open to seeing my own website. Hey, Quindor, just in time, man. Just in time. So in the last probably 15, 20 minutes, we've been talking about the Smarty Pants. That's what I decided to call it. So we're talking about the breakout board for the ESP, for the Quinn ESP32s, and what kind of things we would like to see, what kind of things we would like to include so we can start designing it and get it made, right? And so since you're here, can you point us again quickly to what pins you're using on these and what is available? I know you had shared that with me at one point, and I was just scrolling back through. That was why we opened your site too. We were going to start hunting for it. And I was just scrolling back through our messages together, but that was probably, oh wait, there it is. I got it. Just as I said, can you help us? Here it is. Right? Basically this. So this tells us what we need, but we also need to know what is being used for the especially the Ethernet board, right? So when you have the Ethernet board, what's left over? Let's see what we got here. Yes. There we go. Okay, good. We can use, wait. Oh no, we can't use 25 and 26. Dang it. Okay. All right. Well, that's okay. Are there other DAC? Are there other DAC? Oh, you don't see it? Sorry. So sorry. So sorry. So sorry. So sorry. Camera! Sorry. Happens all the time. So Quindor, ESP, or the GPIO 25 and 26 are the DAC pins. You might know, are there other pins? And the only reason that matters was because we were considering the option of using audio output. And those are the pins that are the DAC pins according to this thing. Maybe there's others that we can use. Let's see. If we just go ESP32 pin out, there's some of these that will probably tell us, right? Just find a good one here. Something like this will probably tell us what's available. Okay. So 25 and 26. Okay, so it doesn't. Oh, GPIOs. Nope. 25, 26. Oh, DAC 1-2. So there's no other DAC 1-2. Darn it. Okay. Oh well. So you even put an ESP home sketch on this already? Oh, this part, yes. Oh, excellent. Arduino, expressive, library. Okay, but this part right here. So this is how you get it to work with and the ESP home sketch. Beautiful. Wonderful. Great. That's great. Can't move those pins. Okay, well, that's okay. I mean, maybe what we'll do, you can just either say, I mean, maybe we just can't do audio out. Or, you know, if we have an audio out, it's got to be some other way. This just can't do it. Can't do it that way. Would this be any use? Let's check it out. Let's check it out, Mark. Let's check it out. That's pretty similar. That is quite a bit like exactly what I was talking about. That is pretty close. Okay. That is pretty close. Look at that. Okay. Well, that begs the question, do we still build this thing? I kind of want to anyways. Yeah, we'll just get a DAC module. We'll just have to get it, or maybe we can even add I2S. Where's those? Well, I think we'll still do this. We'll still go after this. What labs? What does that say? motramlabs.com. Interesting. Yeah, that's the thing right there. That's the one. This guy's got some cool stuff. I think I need to meet him. He just sells them through eBay, and they're only so in Europe. Okay, well there's room for us on this side of the pond as well. Here's another one. Oh, this you can connect. Is that either one or both? I need a collection of all these. Chip like this. Okay. So maybe that's one of the things we'll do is incorporate this. That would enable audio out using a 3-pin I2S interface. I'd have to look at some pins for that, but should still be available, I think. Okay, awesome. Okay, great. Well, maybe that's something we should do because I think that would be a pretty unique. That would be a pretty unique, a pretty unique feature that we'd like to play with. It would be fun to be able to connect a little speaker to this. because of this module we were looking at. We were really looking at this. Probably closed it. There's so many things open. These guys, Quindor. Have you played with these ever? Probably not, because you do so much LED stuff. But I'm gonna buy some of these and play around with them. And if we can get some, if we can do some useful stuff. You know, we can play some audio files, using ESP Home and Home Assistant, and play some audio files through one of these off the SD card, through the DAC pins. Might be the thing to do. So if we can, we can proof of concept. We'll try it, and then maybe we'll get something like this and try it. Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, because your EA Plus board. That's right. That's right. That's right. Is that listed on the website yet? I mean, I know it's not for sale, but do you have pages about it yet, or is that all just kind of been on your streams and stuff? Okay. Well, we'll definitely add a DAC module. Check my Discord. Jump to present. Can I show these? I can, right? Yeah, good. Okay. So these are, this is another module. This is another hat that goes on the ESP32 that Quindor has developed, which has some really cool stuff. Touch button, infrared receiver, microphone, and then still the potential to output to LEDs, right? Through this. Touch, infrared, microphone, SD card. That's right. And then right there's the SD card. That's like the big one. Right there's the SD card. So if we had one of those, see, even still, like what makes this, what I'm trying to do is make basically something like this. I mean, this guy's not too far off of what I'm thinking of. Something like this where you've got access to all these pins with just screw terminals to be able to create kind of whatever you want. Street Whiz. Boy, am I ever on time. Oh, sorry, man. We can start over. Yeah. We can start over, sure. Well, this is fun. So let's keep this discussion going. I know Quindor's had some ideas and is obviously a great resource. So please join in with us as we're coming up with this. And then I know I've got my neighbor buddy who I was talking to again, who helped when we were doing the Pixel Pro, and he's ready to take whatever components we identify and create the layout for the PCB and source parts and all that stuff, and then we'll work on getting them together. Add buck converter so it accepts 5 to 24 inputs with hardware, debounce and pull up, etc., etc. So what else? So yeah, on that wish list would be hardware debounce as well, things that it should have. And yeah, some pull up. What else? Just want to have like a master wish list so we can get it all going in. I'm like you, joined an hour plus stream. What's the schematic link of that board? Which, oh yeah, let's check out the schematic of this board, huh? I guess I can drop this in here for everybody. This one. All right, see you later, Nicholas. Yard work to do. I got to take a nap. Easy temperature sensor hookup for like multiple or something. One wire protocol. Is that the, that's the I2C, right? Terminals for I2C and SPI. Well, one wire protocol, I guess we'll do that. We'll do the one wire protocol. I don't know if that's different or not. It's something I have to learn. One wire protocol. We said I2C. We want SPI. One wire is one wire. It's a different protocol. Gotcha. Okay. I've used those DS18B20s. That's the Dallas one. Yeah, I like those. Temp and humidity built in. It could. I mean, temperature is probably always a good idea to have it built in. If it's not a big deal. We got to be a little careful of scope creep. One wire is called Dallas. Okay, yeah, good. Yeah, I've used those Dallas temperature sensor. Yeah. And you can put multiples of them, right, in the same chain or whatever as well. And it just gives each one an address. Well, this is exciting. This is fun. I've been thinking about doing this for a long time, and I think we're probably there. I probably should have started on it months ago because it would have given me something really good to work on during LED downtime. So this will be fun. This will be fun. We'll work on getting it together, figuring out what we want, how we need it all to connect, how we want it all to lay out on a PCB. We'll get some PCBs. We'll check it out, test it a bit, settle on a design, and start making some. That process probably take 6 months, if I had to guess. Depends on how much downtime or how much time we have. This LED downtime you speak of, when China shuts down and we can't get any controllers. But we should be getting them soon, right? Quindor, we have, I think there's stock on the international store, which usually means I'm getting some in the very near future. And we still have those ones we talked about from Canada that are hopefully gonna get shipped any day now. Fridge and freezer internal temperatures, nice. I use those Dallas ones. What did I use them for? I've used a few of them. They're useful. I like them. I like them mucho. All right. I need a prototype and actually test pin combinations and such. ESP can be finicky sometimes. Yeah. Goes out Monday. Both China shipment and Canada shipment. Okay. Well, doors wide open. Bring them on. I'm getting a lot. I'm going to go tell the family to clear out the room downstairs. We have a room downstairs, which was an office, but the kids used it for a long time for watching TV and playing Xbox. And then we started getting it cleaned out because the last time we had a huge order, it overwhelmed my office, and I was like, I can't have all this stuff in here. So I want to move it down there. But then we got all that stuff shipped out and haven't had anything for a while that was that big. So I lost focus on cleaning out that room. But now that I've got this coming this week, I will get it cleaned out. And this will be a good week for it because I will probably be home most of the coming weekend. So we can go ahead and get slammed. Like if I know that they're coming, I can put orders. I can put them up on the site, start taking orders. And then as soon as they get here, we can start boxing and shipping. And if things went perfectly, I would get a ton of things shipped out like Friday or Saturday or Monday at the latest. So there you go. Finally, the drought is over. Well, thank you for your effort on that end. All right, guys. Anything else? Any other questions? I didn't check the stream thing. We didn't have Sir Goodenough here to check the stream chat question box, but like we can take a minute for a few questions if there have been some, or if people want to ask anything that is just totally off topic. Now is your chance to do so. And we'll answer questions for a couple more minutes, and then I got to get out of here. I got to get a nap. And Marshmallow. Don't forget Marshmallow. That's right. I haven't forgotten my buddy. And what I'll probably do too, I think I have a couple little things left to clear out, because these new ones that are coming, there's a couple differences in the obviously we had the red ones that are coming from Canada that we talked about last week, and then the latest version of the real LED stuff from Quindor's China shop factory is coming with a couple little changes as well. So I need to make sure that I've gotten rid of all the other older stuff, and I've gotten rid of almost all of it. I think I might have like a handful of things left that I've kept just in case there was a need to replace and such. Live stream questions. There we go. Today. Oh, good. Tony. All right, we got one question. Tony's probably gone. I started looking at setting up a fully kiosk browser for a wall. Can I set up a live camera feed from the kiosk tablet into Home Assistant? I kind of remember there being a thing like that. Oh man. There was a thing like that. It didn't work fantastic. Oh gosh, what was it called? There was a thing like that. I don't think it's browser mod. I don't think browser mod will do it. You know what I'm using? I'm not even using fully kiosk anymore. I'm using, because the Home Assistant app is now available for the Fire tablets. So I just download the Home Assistant app from the Fire tablet store, from the Amazon Fire tablet store, and it works. Android IP webcam app. Maybe that's what it was. The IP webcam app. That's probably right. The Realm is probably right. And RTSP. I remember playing with this like a year or so ago. Yep. Give it a go. Give it a try. Try this app. Android IP webcam app. It may work. All right. So we had a lot of fun today. Went through the Westinghouse all-electric home and talked about what they thought was going to happen in 70 years and what has happened and what maybe hasn't quite happened yet that we can maybe work on. And we talked about what we thought a smart home, or what all our homes would be like in 70 years from now, since this was 70 years ago, which is insane to me. You think about what was going on 70 years before this. 70 years before this came out was what, the 1880s. There was no cars. There was no electricity. So for the people who lived 70 years before these guys were not predicting this. So us now, 70 years after this, trying to predict what we're going to see 70 years from now. Well, we're not going to see it because we'll all be dead. Who knows how far off we'll be, right? Who knows how far off we'll be. So that was a lot of fun. We talked about turning a Reolink webcam into the Eye of Sauron with a 3D printed tower and maybe a sticker, maybe some paint to make it look good. So I'm going to start printing this guy because it's cool as heck. I'm going to need some black filament for that. Start closing some of these. And then we started talking about, we did talk a little bit about long range Wi-Fi using the ESP32. And this was an article about that. I'm going to leave that open because I'm going to read through that. And this was about having these stemma connectors for Adafruit standard connectors. We talked about having the I2C. We just barely opened Quindor's website to look at that stuff. We searched around for breakout boards. We did find a breakout board, that one from the UK. That wasn't quite right. We're going to need this. We're going to need this. We're going to need that. Well, we just need this one. I can close the rest of these. I did decide we're going to bury cable and maybe even put fiber in there. We'll have to see. And then this breakout board will kind of be some of what we're going to copy. This would be to get our DAC off of different pins, since we can't use the pins that are going to the ESP Ethernet board that Quindor makes. So anyways, pretty sweet, right? Oh, Blade's here. And we did talk about Node-RED today, Blade. We did talk about Node-RED just for you, my buddy. And we didn't really do anything spectacular other than I went through my nodes real quick and we talked about how this thing is working. So it's checking the outside temperature and it's running through this process, and it's beautiful and brilliant and I love every bit of it. Okay. All right. Well, we did talk about the weather station too. That was part of the ESP thing. I need to add this. I don't want to add it to my cart. I think I already put it in my wish list, but we'll put it Daddy's wish list anyways. Yeah. Okay. All right. Very nice. Very nice. Worked with one question today. The questions are more people asking questions. Check's working now. Oh, yeah, we did get a question earlier today. All right, I'm going to call up the kids. Tidy up time. All right, let's call up the kids. I'm so tired. I need a nap so bad. I think I already said at the beginning of the show, I got home at like 2:30 last night from work. Ugh. The butt kicker. So I need to go take a nap. It's time for sign off. Today's Holly's birthday. Hello. Oh, what's this? Is that your present from your sister? Happy birthday, baby. Love you. We having steak for dinner because that's your favorite. Yep. Holly loves steak. We're having steak for Holly's birthday dinner.
Found it?
Crepe. All right. So we're gonna sing happy birthday to Holly. Ready?
Which song?
We'll sing regular happy birthday and then we'll sing our song. Well, we'll just sing our. Let's just sing our song. Okay, ready? It's your birthday. I hope you have a happy one. It's your birthday. I hope your day is really fun. Golly, Holly, you sure are looking fine. Happy birthday. It's your day to shine. I love you, baby. All right. So let's sign off as if we were singing happy birthday. I don't know if we As always. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Happy birthday. Oh, that was so horrible. Adios. Adios. What was that?
It was a tone-deaf family is what it was.
Yeah, sometimes this is what you get. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Next week should be streaming. I was hoping to go up to the Hobbit House next week. I'm not sure where we'll be next weekend, but I'm sure I can squeeze in a stream. So have a good week. Be safe. Thanks for being here. And we're going to set up a little sub chat to keep talking about this. So, all right. Don't quit the day job, right?
I have green on my dress.
Sign off time. Outro screen. Dancing Titan.
Dancing Titan.
Where is it?
Hunter's Master Race.
Mm-hmm.